and good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for joining this workshop. I think probably most of us as the research infrastructure staff face the challenge of carry out multiple tasks, normally in collaboration with other colleges who are normally based in other countries. So within this project, we have identified that the efficiency in research infrastructures is no longer optional, it is essential. So this workshop will help us to cover this need. It will provide us tools for our day-to-day life. But before giving the floor to our speakers, we would like to know your thoughts, your concerns, or your needs on this. For that, our colleague, Maite Izarabal, will briefly gather what you think and make an analysis before the speaker. Maite, over to you.
Thank you, Cristina. Hello, everyone. I share a link of Miro in the chat.
Thank you very much, Maite. Now it's a pleasure to introduce our speaker. He's Dr. Joaquín López Lérida. He's PhD in Computer Science and Telecommunication Engineering. He is the Data E-Science Management Plans and Blockchain Officers from LifeWatch ERIC. He holds a master in executive coaching, and he was working as a researcher in the PhD program at Stanford University, California, at the Computer Science Department. Since then, he has been involved in the development and implementation of projects related to data management and telecommunication infrastructures at Spanish, at European levels, particularly with topics related with big data, artificial intelligence, blockchain, semantic web, data management, and curation. Joaquín, over to you.
Thank you, Cristina, for the introduction. The only important thing about the curriculum is that I have 3 kids. It's the only important thing. The other things are complementary. And thank you to Irene and to Maite for the introduction. And okay, it has been very interesting what we have done in the Miro with Maite. In fact, there are some of the tools you are asking for that are not here, but I will add them as a complementary part, okay? Because there are some points that you have mentioned now. But what I'm going to do in the next 30 minutes, I have 30 minutes, more or less, I'm going to introduce you tools. In fact, as you can see in the presentation, 67 tools in 30 minutes, which is a lot. But you know, I only want to mention them so that you can have an idea of what is every tool about. That perhaps you can use in the future, or you can use. My intention is not for you to use the 67 tools on Monday, next Monday is impossible, but to have an idea what kind of things you can do, and perhaps in the future you will use some of them. It's only that. More or less, some of the things that you have mentioned in the Miro with Maite are covered here. Others are not, but I have seen. I'm not able to reduce your tasks and your tools. That's impossible for me, or to expand your time. But I will try to provide you some tools that perhaps will make your life easier, or that can help in your productivity. And that is more or less the intention. About the tools I'm going to introduce to you, and then you can, and in fact, Maite has sent the presentation to all of you, but we will try to add more tools following what you have been asking for. About the tools I'm going to introduce you, there are some common things. We have thought about this tool of tools for people that doesn't have to know a lot about technical things. Usual staff from research infrastructure. Some of them are technical people, or are scientific, administrative people. So our tools very easy to understand. Web tools, of course, usually web tools. They are free to use, or in some cases, and in other cases, you can use them, giving your email or things like that, identifying yourself, and perhaps you can find inside the tool sometimes some premium aspect that you have to pay for, and some free aspects. That is very common in the tools nowadays. And that's all. I'm sure that a lot of tools you will know about them, but we had to mention, and we had tried to avoid the very, very, very common tools. There is no ChatGPT. You know, all of you know ChatGPT. It's not here. Microsoft Word or Google Drive, things like that. They are very, very common tools. We have tried to provide you very well-known tools, but perhaps you don't know about them. We have organized the tools by groups. Different groups, thematic groups, so that you can identify them easily. Okay, so let's start because we only have 30 minutes less. And first of all, and in fact, you have mentioned in the third part of the Mayoral meeting is note-taking tools and organization tools. This is the first thing because in some meetings I see that there are people even with the notebooks and the pens or taking notes in Word or in Google Drive or in things like that. And that is a tremendous loss of time. So that I would say that you have to change that and to use note-taking tools. I think that the best tools for doing this are OneNote and Notion. In fact, I have seen Notion there. I prefer OneNote, honestly, but Notion is also a very good tool. What are those tools for? It's something as easy as taking notes, but taking notes in a very ordered way. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show all the tools, of course, impossible in 30 minutes, but some of them I will show you. I'm going to show you, for example, my OneNote. This is OneNote. If you haven't seen it before, this is OneNote, my OneNote for, I have been taking some notes for the Retrain Plus of today. And here, how is this organized? If you haven't seen it, here you can have several notebooks. I have here some notebook. This is the Live Watch Eric notebook. In the notebook, I have some tabs. Sorry, some tabs are in Spanish, but basic meetings, European projects, companies, federal, whatever. For example, this is the tab of European projects. I have here all my European projects that I'm more or less involved, and I have here all the, you know, for every meeting, I have the day of the meeting, what I have done about, and this is very ordered way. I can paste graphics. I can paste like here in Retrain Plus the URLs you are sending in the chat, etc., etc. The good thing about this is that everything is stored in this case in the cloud of Microsoft. In fact, here there is no save button. Everything is automatically stored. You can read all the information you have here from phones, from different devices, etc. You can be taking notes from different devices, all go to the same place, and this is like a notebook, but the digital version of a notebook, and you never lose this. You can lose your paper notebook. You are not going never to lose it. Okay. So my advice for people that usually don't use this kind of notebooks like Notion or OneNote, that I think they are the best one in the market now, and they are free. And they are even available in the case of OneNote even for Apple users. And Notion, of course, yes. That you should start using it because this is a very argument of productivity. You have all your meetings, all your minutes, all your URLs, even your graphics. You can even save meetings, the audio, the video of the meetings if you want, and things like that. Use this because, and even if you want, you can share part of your notebook with another people of your team. So try to use this, okay? Don't use Google Drive, don't use Word, don't use things like that, but because that is a mess at the end, and even notebook with pens or things like that. Okay, I have included also Joplin and Obsidian. They are different tools. They are perhaps different ways of doing the same thing. They are also a good tool, but I would recommend to you using, if you haven't used anything from note-taking tools, I would recommend you or OneNote or Notion to start. I think that OneNote is easier. Notion perhaps is more complex, have more functionalities. Okay. I don't know. There is a hand there. A question, or we do the questions at the end?
I put it in the chat that we are going to have a space at the end for questions. So if you want, you can keep your hand raised, and then we.
Okay. Then we do at the end the questions. Okay. Then this is the first group. Okay. Second group. Project and task management. We all use, and you have been asking in the previous question for project and task management. I think these are the best tool to use it. Perhaps the most common one is Trello. Trello is a very easy tool to use, where you can order your project, you can order the tasks, even you can use it in groups, you can assign different tasks to different people. Very used. It used a card-based system, very used, but there are other tools like Asana, like Write, like ClickUp, like Senkit, where you can order your task, even your personal task or your group task, and you can distribute even the work to do, and you can send to different people in the organization. Okay, so these are, I think they are very common one, but I wanted to include here. Another one, presentations. Okay, all the presentation I saw in all the projects are PowerPoint. Why? In fact, for this one, I wanted to use Prezi, which is this one, Prezi, which is a different one with different, with a different layout, with a different way of, but it's only that not all the world is PowerPoint. So I have included here some different tools to make a presentation. For example, with Powtoon, you can make awesome videos in a very short time, Zoom videos. Okay, Genially is an incredible tool. It's a super PowerPoint. It's PowerPoint, but super, with a lot of different things to do. Even you can make different orders of the slides. It's an incredible tool, Genially, and it's a Spanish tool. But it's an incredible PowerPoint tool. And then I don't know if you know about the Sparkle, but you have seen a lot of times a hand writing things. That is done with a Sparkle, which is the technique is called Video Scribe. It's a very curious tool you can use to make the presentation very easy to use. You have to download a special code to your computer when you use this tool. It's another way of doing it. And I have included also here FlipSnack. FlipSnack is mainly used for doing the catalog. When you see the catalog where the pages goes from a page to another, that is FlipSnack. You can do the PDF, and FlipSnack will transform in interactive PDF that you can interact via web and things like that. And almost everything that I have shown you, Powtoon, Sparkle, Prezi, is including Canva, which is a very powerful tool that includes a lot of things for my presentation. So these are tools to make different presentations, very easy to use. There are, of course, a lot more, but I wanted to include that here. Okay. Next section. For photo and video. Okay, there are a lot of tools to manage photographs. You can have a lot to manage the videos. But first of all, and perhaps you don't know about this, every time you make a video, include it in your YouTube account. I don't know if you know about this, but YouTube, you have unlimited storage space in YouTube. You can include all the videos you want. You can make them private, only for you, or you can make them public. But you will have the videos forever in that account. Google, who is the owner of YouTube, won't remove them. And you can have as many videos as you want. There are no limitation for that. So that's a very good thing. And if you are, for photographs, if you are a Prime user of Amazon, you can make exactly the same for photographs. Not for videos, you have to pay a bit. But for photographs, if you are Prime user, you can upload as many photographs as you want to your Amazon account. Okay, that's it, only one. And if you want to make the video, there are a lot of tools to make videos and very complex tools, but very easy tools to make video. I would say Wondershare, Filmora, which have a very good free tool for make videos. Very easy to do them, to do all kinds of different titles, composition of photographs, etc., subtitles, etc. With Wondershare, Filmora, you can have them. Even with a free account, and Waymark. And also I have included here a Pexel and Mixkit, which are enormous videos and photo database. Most of them are for free. So if you need photographs, videos to make your composition, look here in Pexel or Mixkit where you can find them. And finally, if you want to make a presentation or a photo or a video composition, but you don't want to do it because you don't have time or you don't want to do it or you don't know how to do it, go to Fiverr. In Fiverr, there are thousands of people that for $5, $10, $20 will make whatever you want for you in video, photo, presentation. I have the example of a firm that make some months ago a song, a complete song, 3-minute song for his girlfriend through Fiverr. Fantastic. So you can have an idea what they can do for you. They can do presentation, they can do websites, they can do whatever you want. Okay, for $5, $10, $20. In fact, the name Fiverr 5 comes because at the beginning they were doing everything for $5. Now there are different prices. Okay, if you don't want to use any of the tools I have been speaking to you about, use Fiverr. Okay. Okay, let's continue with the following group. Then for document storage and management. Okay, I know that for document storage and management, you know Google Drive or Dropbox or Microsoft Drive, OneDrive. Okay, these are very good options. You can use them, and or Zoho Drive even that we're using in LiveWorks. But there are more options, and I would like you to know them. You can have your own Dropbox, your own Google Drive using tools like Alfresco or Nextcloud that you can install in your computers, in your servers, and you can have your own Dropbox with all your community or your group of people or in your company using these tools. Only for you to know that there are other ways to store to use cloud to store the information in the cloud, not only the one that we usually know. Okay. Another thing is about domains and internet naming. Usually, when you start a project, you are defining a project or things like that, the names and the emails and things like that are a problem. So I want to show you some tools that are very useful when you are handling and where you are managing the names. I'm going to show you, for example, I want my name. With I want my name, I'm going to show you where. No, sorry. If you go to I want my name, you can see in which domains of the world, all over the world, your word, the name of your project is free, and you can buy it. For example, if I say I don't know, CoP, for example. With this tool, you will see in what domains of the world, all the domains available is taking the domain, that is taking a lot of them, and in which one, for example, Coke Academy is free for $50, or Coke accounts, and in which one are free, in which one are taking. And this is very useful for projects and things like that. Okay. Oh, sorry. There are other very useful tools, for example, with name check or email checker, you can see if emails, what emails are taking in the different social networks, or what emails are in use, if the emails are valid or not, if the name of the person are taking or not taking, and things like that. And even with Hunter, Hunter is a premium tool. There is a free part of the tool, but it's very small. You can see all the information you want about a name, a person, whatever you want. And with Dotomator, this is a very useful tool for having new names or free names or whatever when you are trying to produce the name for a project, for a product, for something like that. Dotomator is a very useful tool to combine names and to have new names that are free to use in the internet and things like that. Okay. Okay, that's all about domains and internet naming. Next one. Reference and bibliography. This is very useful because a lot of time you will need to join different publications to have the bibliography for a team, for a paper, or for whatever. Here are the most common tool for make that bibliography to be able to join different reference to papers, to books, whatever. Zotero, Mendeley perhaps is the most common one, the the biggest one. But with Paperfile also or BibDesk, you have to install that tool. BibDesk is a more complex one, but it's very complete. You can do everything you will need for a project related to reference and bibliography management. You can join all the reference, you can order them, you can look for them and things like that. Everything related to this. With these 4 tools, you can do it. They're very good in general. As I told you before, Mental is perhaps the most common one. Next one, for prototyping. Also, at the time of doing prototyping, this is very common for a lot of projects. For example, when you have to do the shape of a web, for example, how the web is going to be, you have to make a mock-up or a graphic of the web or things like that. Here, I present you 4 tools that slight differences. Perhaps the most common one from a lot of them was Balsamiq, where you can buy mock-ups of any web. You have all the buttons, all the different aspects that you will need to buy the layout of a web, how the web is going to be once has been done. Figma is a very good collaboration tool for doing this. Marvel, the Marvel app, nothing to do with Marvel, with the company, is another very good tool for collaboration and to develop layouts and mock-flow, especially for mockups. Okay, these 4 tools for doing prototyping of what you need mainly about a web are very good tools. But if you want to do the web and you only have 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, use Wix. Wix is a tool where you can build the web for free. It has also a premium part, but you can build the web for free. You don't need to know absolutely anything about HTML, about programming, about anything, and you can build your own web in half an hour. You build all the pages of the web with the menus, with everything. Very, very easy to do. The only problem with Wix is that anything that you do in Wix, you cannot export to other webs. That is the problem. But if you need to make a mock-up of a real web when the people have to test something and things like that, use Wix. It's very, very easy to do. And last here, I have included Shapeway. This is not for web. This is for 3D. If you need to do any prototype about 3D, Shapeway is like the Amazon of 3D. You can print whatever you want in the Shapeway web. In any material, you can print even in gold, in platinum, in copper, in any type of plastic, in sand, in whatever you want. You can print a car or you can print a ring, whatever you want. In 7-10 days, you will have in your house, whatever. They have a lot of tools to make easier to do the 3D design. Even if you have done a very good design, you can sell your design in the Shapeway marketplace, and they will give you 70% of the money they earn when they print your design. Okay, this is an incredible web if you don't know about it for 3D printing, everything you want about 3D printing. Okay, and it's very useful sometimes for doing some kind of prototyping. Okay, next one. Task automation. I have included, what are task automation tools? Sometimes you will need a tool, and even you have mentioned something about too many tasks, too many things. Perhaps you want to do things where you want to connect different tools. You want to connect the Gmail when some email arrives with a website or with a Google Drive document or whatever, and you want to connect different applications. Okay, almost anything that you want to connect can be connected using Zapier. So this is the best tool for doing that, Zapier, and almost every application with every other application that you want to connect can be connected via Zapier, so that you can set up different events, and when something happens in an application, that application transmits that to Zapier, and Zapier will transmit to the other application, so you can automate different events. Okay. Sorry. You can do more or less the same thing with Make, NHN, Automate, tools more or less similar to Zapier. But if you want to start with a very easy tool, because the other one are specialized tools for doing more or less the the same thing. But if you want to start with a very easy one that can connect all your application or some of your application, use Zapier. Okay, there are of course free. There are a free part and there is a premium part also in Zapier. Okay. Okay, and another very common thing. Of course, you will have tools, but I wanted to include here. Here are tools for data analysis and visualization. With these tools, Orange or QEMU or Rowgraphs, perhaps you know about it, but you can make almost everyone you want with graphic to have analytical representation, to record some data, to join them, you know, to analyze almost any kind of data you have and to visualize in very different ways. There's another one that I will include at the end, but these three tools, Orange, QEMU, and Rowgraphs, are really very good tools to do that and very easy to use. That is very important. Okay. Also, I wanted to include here, I know we have, but in the research from tools during organization, but there are huge data sources in the internet that you can use for a lot of things because they have an incredible amount of information that can be used in different ways. And I don't know if you know about them, but you have to know that the World Bank has all the publication of all the data published. The US government through data.gov have all the information they have public about this portal, the flowing data. There is two very good tools, Gapminder and Kaggle, that are like association of all these data sources. There are also the United Nations data web where you can find all the information of United Data. Google has started with data sets. I don't know if you know that there is a Google dataset search from 2021. It's in beta now, it's going out from beta, but they are trying to unify everything related to dataset, including biodiversity, including ecosystem information, and including a lot of sources. A bit disordered, and also Data Hub is an effort that is nowadays they are trying to join everything about data in one portal, federating almost everything, federating World Bank, federating UN, federating DataGov. So I think you know that there is a dataeurope.eu portal for all the data related to European Union. But you know, these are huge, incredible data sources that can be useful for a lot of work, for a lot of things. Okay. And now, to finish, I want to show you tools that definitely you should know about. I think that this is the last one. These are tools, really useful tools that you know about. First of all, DataRaper. DataRaper is the best tool you can have to modulate data, to include data sources, to obtain the graphics and things like that. Have a look to that tool because it's an incredible tool for handling data. Okay. ProtonMail is a very curious tool, but it's an absolutely anonymous email and protected email to do whatever you want. So it's, you should have an account in ProtonMail always. Okay, with usually we do a lot of surveys that we use usually Google Forms or related tools. Okay, that is okay if you need to do a small survey. If you want to do really a complex survey with different branches, with different options, with a very powerful analytical tool, you have to use line survey, which is the most powerful tool for doing any kind of survey. In fact, the Statistical National Institute, for example, here in Spain, I know in France, they use always line survey to do all the surveys. These are really powerful tools with almost no limitation for do any kind of surveys. Okay. Another tool I want you to know about, if you don't know it, is Build With. When you want to know how a website is built, what is the composition, internal composition of a website, use this tool, Build With, which will show you the composition, the technical composition, how is made that website. Okay. Another very small tool, but very useful tool is this one, Down for Everyone or Just Me. I wanted to include here. Perhaps someone you are accessing a website and the website is not working. It's not working only for you, or it's not working for anyone. This tool will tell you if it's not working only for you or it's not working for anyone. Okay. And this to finish this tool, I have included the two more powerful tools you can find perhaps in the internet. First of all is Amazon, a tool from Amazon, which is Mechanical Turk. I don't know if you know about Mechanical Turk, but probably it's the biggest company in the world. It's like 6 million workers. The workers of this company are called Turkers. And in fact, you can be a worker if you want of Amazon Mechanical Turk. But the important thing here is that every time you have a very big work to do, digital work, of course, to do, you can send it to Amazon Mechanical Turk, and you will get back in. It depends on what you want to pay for it, because you are the one who puts the price in this tool, and you will get back. If you put a good price to do the job you want to do, you will get back the work in minutes or in hours. It's a very, very big work. But the thing here is that Amazon has a lot of people, millions of people classified by their abilities, and they will cut the work you are sending to them. They will cut them. They will assign to all the people. They will do the people, and they will send you back the work done in minutes or in hours. They can do really fast, and you have incredible results. It is used mainly for very small tasks, but when you have millions of tasks. For example, Google use Amazon Mechanical Turk in order to classify their photographs, so that photographs are for all the public, or only for older than 18. They use Mechanical Turk to send millions of photographs to get them classified by people, paying only 1 cent, which is the less 1 cent for every photo. So this is an incredible tool from Amazon that in fact gives work for to millions of people in the world. Okay, and to finish, perhaps the most powerful tool of all this presentation is the Internet Archive. I don't know if you know about Internet Archive, but every day nowadays there is someone in San Francisco, in this case, that makes a full backup of all the internet. And that backup is storage in archive.org, which is the Internet Archive, where every day there is a backup of all the webs of internet, of the public webs of the internet. And you can go through them, you can go through all the years, through all the days, and to see how was the web, but you don't have a picture of the web. You can navigate that web that day. In fact, there is a machine that is called the Wayback Machine, where you can see how was the web 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Nowadays, there is a backup at least once a day of every web in the world. If you go to some years ago, perhaps there is a backup of every month or of every week. But you can have a lot of copies of the state of one web from the year 2001. And if you want, we are going to do it you can use in the comment, tell me one web and 1 day of 1 year, and we will see here. I'm not going to do it. Do it by yourself. Put in the chat if you want one web and 1 day you want to see the web, and we will do here so that you can see it. I'll go to archive.org, which is the website for that. Maite, dime cuál poneme el chat, que yo no veo el chat. Oh, I'm going to try to see here the chat. Wait a moment.
Somebody would like to propose any web page?
You can try to play around with the Retrain Plus webpage so that we see how it's working.
Okay, Retrain Plus dot. EU?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm watching here for retrainplus.eu, and we have backups here from 2021.
When the web page is went live, because it's
in fact, there are backups. The first backup of the retrain plug was 1 of December. We can see how it was the web. The web 1 December, December the 1, 2021. Here. And this was the web of Retrain Plus. You can see here, December the 1, 2021. Website under construction. And we can navigate it. You see, we can navigate the web and we can see the web.
So it's not only an image, but it
No,
actually...
no. As I told you, it's not only image. It's interactive. And if you can see here, the last backup that we have from Retrain Plus is not all the days for this website. Usually it's all the days for mainly website, but the last backup is September the 4th. This is one. Yeah. But this is not only for Retrain Plus, it's for all the webs in all the internet. Okay. If we go to, you can see here, I say, for example, Google. Okay. To see only, you can see that we have images of Google from the beginning, 1998. This was the first image of Google, 1988, November the 11th. Welcome to Google. Google search engine prototype, and you can. This was the first one, and this was November the 11th, 1988. You have everything everywhere in all the history of the internet. This is done every day. Okay, but not only that, about this website, this incredible website. You can see here that this is the Wayback Machine, where you can see all the webs in all the histories of the internet. But it is more than that, because the objectives of this website, the archive.org, is to make a backup of every digital thing in planet Earth, so that you have here the access to movies, to books, of course, books that don't have at this moment the copyright, that the copyright has finished, movies, songs, even you can play games. You have the games, but you can also play the games inside here, or you can podcast and everything. They are trying to make a backup of every digital object in the internet. The biggest one, of course, is the internet one, related to the websites. But as you can see here, you have backups of movies or books or audios, podcasts, games, even TV programs and things like that. Okay, in this website. Okay, here you have, for example, the software. Well, I told you about the software, and you have emulation, even MS-DOS games, CD-ROM software site, etc. Okay. This was the one to finish. That was all from my part, half an hour more or less. There are some tools here that I'm going to be answering, but the first one here was, does OneNote work offline? Yes. Okay, you can work offline with OneNote, like you work with Word or with PowerPoint. The only thing is that once you go online, all the information will go will be updated. But you can work offline, yes, with OneNote. Yes, and that is Monse was answering also. The Wayback Machine, it looks for changes. Perhaps, yes. I don't know exactly how do they storage all the things, but they keep updated every place. Yeah. Perhaps they are looking for changes, and if they see some change, they update the information in the Wayback Machine. Yeah. Okay. More questions you have?
Thank you, Him. I think colleagues that are present here, you can also raise your hand. We are in the meeting mode, so please go ahead if you want to ask some questions live with a bit more explanation, but you can also add them in chat.
Monse?
Yeah.
So a question for Federico, because he was saying he likes OneNote and recommends to use it. And I see someone else put a comment in the chat in the same direction I was going to ask now. So in my experience, OneNote is problematic when different people are taking notes simultaneously or in the same document. It causes a lot of synchronization issues, and then you end up with many copies of the same page. Have you experienced this, Joaquin?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it's true. That sometimes in OneNote there are synchronization problems, and in fact that you are taking one note, another person has taken another note, and then OneNote remove the other notes. So there are some, and in fact Microsoft has recognized that, and they said that they are working with that. And there is one thing: if you are doing that with a Microsoft 365 online tool of OneNote, you don't have that kind of problem, but you have to use that. But when you are working in a group, the synchronization, one thing, I usually don't use the synchronization. I don't have a lot of groups with the OneNote, but yes, but if you do that for yourself, you take notes from your telephone and from your computer at the same time, I don't find those synchronization problems. I have found them when I'm working with other people. Yeah. Sometimes if it's exactly at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? And if you or some others have an experience, we were debating in our repository to use the Wayback Machine, and we did for some elements to actually record web pages of journals, so the newspaper journals, so to say. So if there's a researcher, especially in social science and humanities, that they want to analyze a certain topic in a specific year, then the idea in the back is that because the online pages, they could change basically because something is updated. So it's difficult for a researcher to actually prove which is the core content that was used from a journal. And I was wondering because I see one of the elements that I see is a problem is that in many cases the journals have content under subscription.
Yeah.
So I also checked, didn't really go back, but for a week or two in the past, I checked one of our journals that is still what is stored in the Wayback is actually the view that it was visible at the time on our newspaper basically page. So I was wondering if anyone was playing around with that and how to go forward.
What I can say to you only is that as you know, only 10% of the internet is visible to all. 90% of the internet is absolutely hidden because there are private places or for different, and only 10% of the internet is visible. And the Wayback Machine is only for the visible internet, so for the internet that is available for everyone. But if you have places with subscription, like the newspaper or journals, where you need you need accounts and things like that to enter, they want to be visible, at least in the Wayback Machine. I don't know if there are any exception for that, but usually you cannot enter those. They are not storage at the Wayback Machine. Yeah.
Any other questions? Maybe they have to process the tools and start to use them, and then they will have handouts.
Anyway, we will analyze all your answers to what to the Miro panel of Maite, and we will include, even in this presentation, we will include additional tools to try, if we find them, of course, and we to try to answer other questions that are there that perhaps we haven't answered with this set of tools. Okay.
Joaquin, to add to this, I prepare a resume in the Miro so you can access it, and the last sticky notes are the resume of each question.
You don't want to share? Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. So here are, I changed the colors. Sorry. For the first question, which is your major bottleneck in your daily work, it's, as I previously said, too many tasks and tools to manage and monitor, and too many meetings to assist, and the paperwork, the deliverables and deadlines. For the second one, it's the wishing list. People said share calendars, communication, meeting rooms, to have meeting rooms special for them, and to have something compatible with other existing tools, in order not to change the formats of the, for example, if I receive a presentation in PowerPoint that I would use it in Google Drive or another platform, that if I upload it, doesn't change the format. And data and project management tools. And for the final one, which software do you use to help manage your daily work? These are the most answers. It's like Slack, Google Drive, Notion, SharePoint, Soho, OneNote, Trello, Synology, Teams, Open Project, and Mendeley. And that's it.
So thank you very much, Maite, for this analysis in real time. And also thank you very much, Joaquin, for this very practical session. It's a luxury to have had in 30 minutes a package of tips that I'm sure it will help the attendees for some of their challenges.